Hello friends, Iceberg with Dillon Brothers Harley-Davidson, and today I'm going to take you through a walkthrough of the all-new 2019 Harley-Davidson Electra Glide Standard. I'm excited to talk about this Electra Glide Standard. To a lot of people who maybe are new to the motorcycle world and you're kind of out there looking and researching and learning things about motorcycles, and maybe you're interested in Harley-Davidson and you've kind of seen everywhere the brand new model Electra Glide. Well, while yes, it's a new model this year, this is not a new model of motorcycle. This is actually one of the most classic and iconic Harley-Davidsons from back in the day. And this motorcycle has so much rich history in it, so many integral pieces that really led up to a lot of the things that Harley is doing today and has been doing for so many years. It kind of all started with this bike. You know, we can go back to 1949 where you had the introduction of the front hydraulic forks. And so with that, you went from the FL models to the FLH models, which is still the call tag for these bikes to this day. So in 1949, as I said, it went from the FL to the FLH, and it became known as the Hydra Glide. And then you fast forward to 1958 to where they introduced the rear brakes on the motorcycle and the coil spring suspension in the rear, dual suspension in the back rear of this motorcycle. So at that point, the motorcycle became the Duo Glide with the back suspension, hence the name. So then you fast forward up a few more years. Now you hit 1965, where these bikes had the Panhead engine in it. And the Panhead was the first large Harley twin to get an electric start. Once that went in, the bike became the Electra Glide. Now the Panhead only lasted one more year in these motorcycles, because then after that they did go to the Shovel Head, which increased your horsepower, a little bit nicer running engine at the time, but it stayed the Electra Glide Standard. And one of the beautiful things about the Standards is that this bike is just a blank slate, if you will, to customize the way you want to. These bikes have been around, as I said, for years. Now, they did discontinue this model in 2010, and they did that because at that time, they basically had three models of the Electra Glide at that time. You had the Standard, you had the Classic, and you had the Limited. And the Classic and the Limited, obviously, were your bigger touring bikes. And so they felt that the market was more into the larger touring bikes with all the trimmings, everything you want, you know, nav systems, radios, all of that kind of stuff. So they did discontinue the Standard. Well, now fast forward to where we're at now, 2019, and they have brought the Electra Glide Standard back. And I have to be honest, I am thrilled that this bike is back in the lineup. This is an incredible motorcycle at a very, very fair and awesome price point. You get a lot of motorcycle here for the price point on this bike, and I am going to take you through a walkthrough of the all-new 2000 model. Let's start with the engine on the Electra Glide Standard, where you have the Milwaukee-Eight 107 in here. This is a beast of an engine. If you've seen some of the videos before, you know that I am proud to say I own a Milwaukee-Eight 107 in my Softail lowrider, and I absolutely love this engine. One of the finest engines I've ever ridden on. Power for days, very, very nice throttle response, tons of low-end torque, and all the power you need even up in the high ends, which is 6 gears on this motorcycle, and the final drive on this bike is belt-driven. Moving up front on the motorcycle, where you have this 17-inch 130 front tire with the all-cast aluminum rim in there. You do also have the dual disc front brakes up front. All the stopping power you could possibly want on this motorcycle, which is fantastic. You're going to be getting after it on this bike, and to be able to stop on a dime, very important. Let's move up to the iconic Batwing fairing. The Batwing fairing was also another introduction on the Electra Standards, and this was brought in on 1969 is when the Batwing fairing was entered in, and it has kept that iconic look since then. Moving up and into the fairing here, this is where the standard part comes in. You do not have a loaded nav system. You do not have a radio system in there. You do just have now a nice empty glove box in there. They do come with, you can get a bag for them to really house your stuff in there. Or if you so desire to put a stereo system in, it is open and ready for that. You do also have an area to put your speakers in as well. What is nice about this bike though, while it maybe doesn't have the nav system and some of those trimmings, this bike does come standard with cruise control, which is a very nice add-on onto this motorcycle. Also on top of the Batwing fairing here, you do have the mid-size windshield, which is really going to push that air up and over, really helping out with head buffering and stuff. As we all know, when we're blasting down the interstate, there's nothing worse than having your head cranked back half the time. So it does have the very nice vent system in there that you can open and close to kind of push the air the way you want to. And obviously, as I said, with the iconic Batwing, you are going to get that nice airflow around the motorcycle as well, keeping it off your chest and just moving it past your sides here. Let's move to the center of the bike where you have this 6-gallon gas tank on here. This is fantastic. Tons of riding time before you're going to have to worry about hitting the gas pumps. This comes in the standard vivid black color. And one of the things that I really think stand out on this Electra Glide is that beautiful red Harley-Davidson badge painted into the tank there. I love the look of this. Very retro, very old school. I think one of the other times that that badge has been put onto the bikes was on a couple of the old school Softails in the 80s possibly. Really big fan of that badge on here. Just kind of flows with the entire bike. Moving down on the Electra Glide and back up to the front where you have the very nice chromed out engine guard leading back to the all chromed out engine, and then of course leading down to that nice dual chromed out exhaust. The exhaust note on this bike is very nice, very clean, has a good Harley rumble to it. I do also like on this bike that you have the floorboards on here. Very nice touch, just a nice comfort thing. And then sitting up top where you have the very comfortable solo touring seat on this bike. This bike just came off the truck. I have not personally been able to go out and ride it, but I have sat on it. This seat is incredibly comfortable. I like that it has kind of a little bit of the bucket back here, which is good for your lower back. Also keeps you on the bike when you're really getting after it. And then on here, you do also have the tab that comes off, so you can put a nice little rider backrest and passenger pad on here for if you wanted to take a passenger on the bike. This bike does not come with passenger pegs on it. You will have to get those and the hardware to put a 2-up backrest on here. But once again, stripped down minimal bike. That's what the Electra Glide Standard is all about. Sticking on the back of the motorcycle where you have the vivid black saddlebags on here. These are the one-click saddlebags to open up. Very nice space in here. You're still going to have plenty of room. These are weatherproof as well, so if you get caught out in the rain, it's going to keep your stuff nice and dry. Overall, I cannot say how pleased I am that the Electra Glide Standard has been brought back into the Harley-Davidson lineup. This gives people who have really kind of wanted to enter into the touring model motorcycle something that they can just customize their own. And if they don't want nav systems and stereo systems, you don't have to have it. And it puts you into a different price bracket, which maybe now allows people to be able to get onto one of these bikes a little bit easier than it is to get onto a completely loaded, full of doodads and all the trimmings touring motorcycle. So you can take some of those longer rides. So you can go out and enjoy the open road a little bit more. As I said, I can't say enough about it. I'm super thrilled that it's back in the lineup. And if you are local in Omaha, Nebraska and want to come see this Electra Glide Standard up close and personal, please stop out at Dillon Brothers Harley-Davidson today. Pretty sure you're going to be pleased with it. And as always, my friends, from the entire Dillon Brothers Harley-Davidson family, thank you so much for checking out our videos. And always remember, gear up, ride safe. Thanks a lot.